We're live.
There's so
Wow.
much breaking news today.
Good morning. Good morning. Good
Let's
morning.
wait till people are here.
Sting-a-ding, ring-a-ding, be-ding.
Hey, check this out. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
To you.
Good
I
morning.
see you
Good
and
morning.
you and
Good
everybody.
morning.
Good morning.
There's lots of. Let me pull up one announcement I know of. Let's see if I can pull this up.
I predicted my announcement.
What I mean what's your announcement?
Well, that Rubber Soul is coming, and it's being announced
Well,
tomorrow.
hold on. They just have a cryptic.
They have a cryptic thing with an orange color palette that matches the logo, and they use the song "Wait," which is on the album.
Right.
So, and I was
Very exciting.
I didn't think it was.
What do you think it's? What do you think it's going to be?
What's going to be the super deluxe edition? Now we don't know what's in it yet. Probably mono, some outtakes, a remix, book, the usual.
Yeah. I can't wait because I can put it up in the thing right next to the
And yeah, right next to the thing.
Right next to the other Beatle boxes that I have that I never listened to.
It's not even been 24 hours yet, and I got 12,000 views on that video.
What video?
My Rubber Soul video I dropped yesterday. I dropped a Rubber Soul.
12,000. You know, Mazzy, you attribute it more to
the Beatles.
It's a Beatle video.
Of course, but I've done Beatle videos before. I've never gotten 12,000 overnight.
Oh, okay, here, I'm going to share the screen for this one.
Go to Beatles.com and you'll see the countdown.
Hold on, I'm doing this first.
The countdown clock is happening.
Okay, so this is an announcement that was made. It was already up on the site and people had posted it. But this I guess it's one of those tone poet type of dealios. Maybe not. So this is two shelved Sonny Clark records from 57 and 50. We'll show that in a second. Calm down. So these are two shelved Sonny Clark records that were released in Japan in like 79. So both albums are in this. And it's trio, two different lineups. And it's him doing standards. So this is interesting.
What do you think? You think this is the Jazz Bones show?
You're a bum. I like jazz. That's as close as it is.
I like jazz.
But this comes out the 25th of September. Okay. What are you thinking about these? I love the late announcements, like prior, right up until they're releasing it.
I think it's better than. I think 2 months is the most it should be.
So, Mazzy is having a Beatle herky jerky. So, this is but there's no. What is the visuals? How's that an indication it's Rubber Soul?
Because it's kind of woodsy. They're outside. They're wearing like the suede. There's a tree. There's an apple rolling, obviously. And those who wait. Wait is the song. One of the songs. And it's weird though. The Wait is the one kind of leftover song from Help that was.
Hold on, Marcus. You need to chill out. Not everyone likes the Beatles. Also, Yvonne, let's pretend that in next week there's a Tuesday morning announcement that there was a shelved Donna Summers record, and they were releasing that. Yeah, that would replace your best news.
That matches the Rubber Soul color on some of them. They've changed, some of them are different colors, but it's Rubber Soul. The song "Wait." I mean, come on, it's not Beatles for Sale.
What about that other song? Wait.
That's what I just said. Wait.
No, dude, the White Lion song from the.
I don't know
the 80s.
I don't know that stuff.
Wait.
So I went to a Jewish part Israeli punk show last night.
Mm-hmm.
The Crotches. they're touring up and down wherever. I don't know, they're going around. I think they were in Idaho a few days ago.
Hey, he said crotches, Jim. Pay attention.
I did. So fuck the crotches. You know what? They're very influenced. They have a little bit of a Mother's, a Zappa style at times. But I was sitting at this I had to go down to Columbia City there, and I stopped in this cafe sat for a while. Just wanted to chill out in the afternoon. Had some iced tea because anyway. And these two guys were talking Hebrew next to it, the two young guys, and they started talking about music. And the guy said, the guy with long hair that turns out to be a drummer, he turns to me and says, "Did you make a Miles Davis YouTube video, the best of Miles Davis?" I said, "Yeah, a few years ago." He goes, "Oh, I remember." So we started talking, and I said, "Are you guys from Israel?" They said, "Well, they live in LA now. They're not from Israel." And he said, "Don't go to Israel now. It's a shitty place to be right now." So I'll leave it at that.
I had one of my students last term was from Israel, and it was we were talking about 4th of July, and she goes, "It's illegal to set off fireworks in Israel."
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And so the guy says to me, and he starts talking about Tony Williams. He goes, "You know Tony Williams?" And of course, I told him Tony Williams story. So we sat for an hour, and then he pulled out. They gave me, it was a guitar player, the drummer. They gave me a record.
They're the band.
They're two of the four members of the band.
Ah.
So I went to see him last night at this place called Slim's Last Chance. They got an outdoor area. It wasn't very full. Maybe there was 60 people because Monday night, but there was 3 acts. There was a guy with a guitar with a drum machine who was okay. There was another guy with a guitar and a digital who was better. And then they were really good, but they're a little bit of a Stooges meets Frank Zappa because they're kind of quirky. They do all English, but I think they did 2 or 3 songs in Hebrew. Crotches. Yes. And Fuck the Crotches. This is a new album. I haven't heard the album yet. I think I'm getting my cart finally installed today. So
there's another announcement. I don't know. This doesn't make sense to me. So it's a MoFi announcement that they're putting out a Devo record, right?
Oh, right. That Rhino put out that last year.
Well, why? Yeah, I don't understand giving MoFi the rights to put out like a one-step when they have their own one-step process.
No, Rhino doesn't do their own one.
They have a division that Jim's friend Grover does.
What did he do for Warner? What Warner did he do for One Step?
Didn't he do? Were the Lincoln Parks Universal or Warner?
I guess he does do Warner's. Yeah.
Yes. So they have their own one-step process. Why give it outside to MoFi?
Because they probably don't. They probably pass on it. I don't think they would do a one-step of that personally. It's surprising that Devo is doing it. I mean that MoFi is doing it.
I think Devo's a good seller for Rhino.
Yeah, it is. It is. But anyway. There's some
okay, Mazzy, with your whole mixed up thought on this, why would they do a Rhino Hi-Fi of a Devo record and not a one-step?
Well, one-steps they don't do a lot of the big expensive ones, and that's not them. That's Grover.
But they just started it. It's not been.
I understand that, but I don't think that would be one they would choose. I think they would do like a Dire Straits or something, you know.
Uh-oh. What is Elliot trying to?
Well, it's the same with Kamikaze. They didn't pick Kamikaze. Why didn't they do Kamikaze instead of MoFi?
Yeah, that's true too. They need to put out that box set.
I don't think they really. That's not an area they really are concentrating on because if you notice, the more recent DSSs are more universal DSSs.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have no idea.
How old is the Donald Fagen one step? How long ago was that done?
It's not out yet. It's coming out now.
Hello, Nightfly.
Oh, Nightfly. Yeah, that was a long time. I don't know. But there is some kind of reviewers.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the 2 reviewers. There's a reviewer that has a channel Vinyl something. Of course, everything's Vinyl.
Yes.
Something.
Yes. Vinyl something.
Vinyl. They reviewed.
Change your name to Elliot.
They reviewed the new, and I haven't heard it. The Rhino Superfly, the Hi-Fi Superfly, and there was a Runout Groove a few years ago. Fremer just reviewed it yesterday and trashed it, saying they're misguided. That it's the wrong tapes, and
It's
what
not
they're
the artist's intent.
right. He's saying what they're showing on the tape box is not what they did. So we don't know. We don't know if there is a problem there.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, Rob.
A Fremer outrage. Is it a new thing? Is it legit?
Well, apparently he went and read it. I don't go and read it, but there was a
What?
thing in the forums that he went and read it and kind of went after these other reviewers saying like they're wrong. I hate when if he doesn't agree with another reviewer, you don't go after him. I think that's ridiculous.
But he
does that.
When I go after someone, it's justified. But he makes up his own.
Can we take a break here and say hi to Elliot? He's been there for 10 minutes.
I said
Hi, Elliot.
Hi, Elliot.
Hey, everybody.
I like your hat.
Thank you. I like yours too.
All right. Someone earlier said it's 45. But again, my point was less.
Devo MoFi is not a one step.
I know. Okay. So 2 other people said it. Okay. My point was regardless of it being a one step or not. Why not just keep it Rhino?
Because because Rhino will never do a 45, and some of those idiots think the 45 format is better.
Hold on, they've done 45.
Turn it up. No, I'm saying that with a tongue-in-cheek thing.
See this one, the special edition, 45.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have some 45s.
What label is that?
Warner Brothers.
Okay.
I know, but they don't do it a lot. They don't do it a lot. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
The majority of record buyers don't want the 45 format. The audiophiles do. That's why they allowed Chad. Well, Chad's done all the Rhino 45s and Atlantic 45s. The Rhino doesn't want to do it themselves. They can make money licensing to Chad. And people love the 45s. I'm not against people love it. People love it. They love it.
Can everyone send your cards and letters?
I thought you said people don't like the 45s, Mazzy.
No, I mean, the majority of record, it's a niche audience.
My head is spinning.
It's a niche audience. I mean,
how often do the labels that put out these audiophile, the 45s and the one steps, how often do they, as a companion to that, or not a companion, but in addition to that, put out your standard $25 to $35?
Well, with this whole, when they did the 75th anniversary and Chad was putting out all the 75s, a bunch of those titles were put out as regular 33s.
I mean, at the same time.
They're not. Usually it's like this. It's like the reissue people, maybe they can't get the 33. They can only get the 45. Right. So it's not coordinated. It's what can you fucking get
hold on.
That title that you're interested in.
The whole start of this conversation was not 45, 33. It was audiophile type of ones. I'm just curious why they gave it to MoFi and didn't do it themselves.
Because they don't like to do 45.
They did it themselves earlier. They did a Rhino hi-fi.
But hardly. And that's why Chad got all those Atlantic and Rhino 45s. Rhino doesn't have to do it.
I understand, Mazzy. But, okay, the OJCs, right? The Bill Evans Sunday at the Village Vanguard.
That's crap.
Let me finish talking, and then you can rebut me.
You waste more time saying you need to finish talking.
Well, you don't waste any time. So, here's the deal. I'm talking about shootouts, and I think the in-groove said all right, calm down, Elliot.
Don't talk about shootouts. I live in Seattle. Right?
Maybe you want to watch a Western.
Okay. I think the in-groove did a shootout where he said the OJC sounded better than the MoFi, and then he might have said the 45 from the bottom.
Which title?
Sunday at the Village Vanguard.
Oh, okay.
So all I'm saying is having a lot of these so-called audiophile 33s that have come out, people said that's the best sounding one.
Yeah. But again, it comes down to the mastering. Okay, here's a good example. Music Matters Jazz they started out doing all 45s.
Because that's what they could get the license for.
Exactly. But later, in the last 2 years of their existence, they did everything at 33. And by that time, Kevin updated his gear and his whole system things. Some people feel that those 33s, the ones they did again of the previous 45s, sound better at 33 because of the new stuff that Kevin worked with and the new cuts. You know, some people say, and I had both of some of them, and I like the 33s better for a couple of reasons. I mean, if nothing else, they were identical, so why bother with
if anyone believes in karma, in 24 hours, there will be an announcement that Rubber Soul will be in 45 RPM.
Yeah.
Please, karma, help us.
Well, it would be funny if
and then Mazzy, all of a sudden, Mazzy will become a 45 fan.
No, if the Beatles did Beatles wouldn't put it out as a 45, but they technically could license it to MoFi or no. Okay,
they do that.
Here's what would be the great thing to do. You know, I did that video, and I like to have the American in the box, but I would be fine. Don't put the American in the Super Deluxe box. Do what Vinyl File did with Pet Sounds. Do a 2-disc Rubber Soul American mono and stereo, because Vinyl File is the American wing of Universal, of Capitol, and they could do Rubber Soul in stereo and mono as a gatefold and put it in the same.
Okay, I have a good example. The other day, I picked up this minty US Decca pressing.
It's a good sounding record.
Well, I already have it, but this is a quality upgrade. So, and I listened to my copy that had some marks on it, but that sounded better than most records I have. So my thought is, I paid $15 for this. This is a good $15 investment.
Yeah.
I don't need to get $150.
That's true. That's true. How many of those do you come across that are in good shape, though?
Surprisingly, I would say VG Plus or better. Surprisingly, I do. I mean, how popular was this when it came out?
Very popular.
Yeah. So
the people that were buying it were a little bit older. They weren't 13 or 14.
I was 14 years old.
Well, you're different. You're special, man. Yeah. They were a little bit older.
I was literally 14 years old when I bought that record.
They had better systems. And so those records, those Who records is a good example, were a little bit better cared for. They were people that were more conscious of that sort of thing. So you can find some really good condition Who records.
I can tell you how I came in. I mean, I think I liked the Who because I had two older brothers. So I liked the Who when I was little. I think the Who, out of all these kind of classic British bands, did the best job of being relevant in every time period they were in, at least through the 80s.
Yeah.
I think they had hits in every decade they existed in, right? But I always feel like they changed their sound to not sell out, but they were relevant at least to me, right? Even when they came back with Kenny Jones, they had a few bunch of hits that were relevant to my age group. Everyone knew Pinball Wizard because Elton John had a version because he was in the movie and all that. But the movie running on cable all the time, I watched that. So I knew this very well when I was young.
Well, for my generation, it was going to the midnight movies, driving to Raleigh, going to the midnight movies, and oftentimes Tommy would be what was playing.
Yeah, and
Marcus, I was 11 when Rubber Soul came out, actually. So not 14.
About the shootouts, you mentioned the shootouts. Unless, in my opinion, unless you're doing a shootout between two versions of a record as a blind test under exact conditions, exact same setup, everything under blind conditions. So the person
you have to wear a blindfold?
Yes. Or somebody else has to put the record on. Somebody else has to listen. And you can't do it over the darn internet. The only way you can tell what is the superior sounding record is a blind test with someone sitting in the room. Otherwise, all these shootouts are, let me finish, all these shootouts are vinyl community masturbation. That's all they are.
Okay, let's not get filthy, Elliot Cruz.
Just a little dirty.
So Elliot Cruz, I'm going to tell you something.
I don't know.
Hey, Rob is talking to Elliot Cruz.
You waste more time bitching
but
at us for interrupting you.
You're hemming and hawing. Get to it.
Two people are muted right now. Elliot Cruz, will you listen to me?
Absolutely, Rob.
Okay, I just picked up an OG. I'm going to find so I can show it. I just picked up an OG Pink Floyd, The Wall US.
Uh-huh.
At least by what Discog says, it's the second pressing.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you I had an original US, and then I found weirdly enough in 1983 there were 11 different US pressings of it.
Not surprised. Yeah.
And I found one that sounded way better to me than the OG US. And then I got the one I got was so minty clean. It had the posters and the stickers. It's like a specimen. If I can find it, I didn't put it aside. It's one you want if you want an OG US. But this 1983 version sounds to my ears. So this is more in response where you're giving rules of doing shootouts. I do agree your ears. So play it on your system. If it sounds really good to you on your system, then that's
all that matters.
Exactly. I don't like shootouts at all because I don't think they're accurate. I think when you find a really good sounding record, you don't need to keep going. It's not the darn, holy grail you're searching for.
But Elliot Cruz.
But for some people it is, I'm sure.
Elliot, can I address it?
Sounding record, and then go on to the next record you want to listen to or find. Don't obsess on every time someone puts out a new version of the same record. Oh, is this one a little bit better than the other one? There are so many bias, unconscious bias that we have that we don't even realize that are going to slant the view of this record is better than this record. This pressing is better than this pressing. So just find a good sounding record and move on.
Well,
that's until I hear what you're saying, Elliot.
Hold on. Jim wants to talk. Let Jim talk.
I hear what you're saying, Elliot, but I can't wait to hear you 3 months from now talk about how you were comparing versions of some fucking record that you absolutely love and you found another version and blah, blah, blah. The reality is that's part of the hobby, man. It's freaking fun.
For some people, yes. For some people.
Well, okay. For some people, you don't have more than one version of any record.
Yes, sir. I certainly do. Yeah.
Why do you have more than one copy?
Looking for a better, a cleaner copy. It's usually
neighbors.
to find a cleaner copy.
Here's the thing. I put this record on last night. This is
Uncle Meat.
This is a modern reissue. This is the modern reissue that they did within the last few years. It sounds nothing like any of the originals that I have. There's a whole bunch of more information, but it's got this sort of modern sort of sound to it. Then I'm going through these guys here. I'm not just, I don't think I need to be blindfolded to hear ticks.
Well, hold on.
But do you need to do a shootout between these two records?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which one sounds better?
Do you prefer one? Sometimes they're just different, not better.
Jim has the distinction. Right now he's being a hypocrite. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Jim has the distinction of treating his setup like a game of Tetris. He keeps moving it around, changing the direction.
Look, I move my shit around the way other people adjust the bass and they equalize things. I move my shit around the way other people equalize the sound.
Other people put red marks and they keep.
And so,
Jim,
I'm just saying that part of the hobby is just.
Yeah.
Also, I have to brag here for a minute. My fucking system is so goddamn revealing, but in in a musical
you
way,
rearrange
then
it,
it's easy to hear this shit.
listen,
easy.
Jim is changing the name of his channel to Feng Shui Jim.
Let me ask you this,
He's gonna
Jim.
system a while.
Do you usually discover, or the end result is one is better, or one is as good but just very different?
Different.
No, I find that personally, there are certain aspects that I'm looking for that maybe
They're
other people
pleasing to you personally.
to me, right? My ears are old. I don't hear way the fuck up there anymore.
But
what
you
I
have
do
a-
hear,
but Jim-
Elliot, wait a minute. But what I do hear, I recognize, and when I recognize that in a record, I respond to it. You know what I mean?
Well, let's add though, Jim, you have an extremely nice system that is to bring out details that the common Joes like
I
me
have more.
are probably not going to get from our own system.
The way I look at it
we're
is
certainly not going to get it from watching a YouTube video on our computer, whether one sounds better than the other. I'm really talking more about the shootouts.
Well, I agree with
video.
you. So I think I get it now. You're talking about shootouts between the different reissues, and I agree with you on that.
No, we're talking about playing them through the internet that we listen to.
And when you play them
like
through the
Jason
internet,
does, like a lot of people do
crap.
that.
Hold on.
What you can hear over the internet are differences. You can't hear whether it's better.
Anyone who watches a video of someone doing a shootout is mainly watching them to talk about what they believe is the better record. No one in a million years is going to go by the audio that someone records.
Well, some people
part
do.
of their video.
I'm tired of Mike abusing me for having a TV between my speakers.
I don't get it.
All of a sudden, he's a nude fucking daddy.
Yeah, man.
About TVs through speakers. Get in line, buddy.
This
boy.
is
I saw a picture of your baby. It's
Mike,
beautiful.
it's AI.
Beautiful baby, Mike. Beautiful baby.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It's AI. That's not the
I
real
went
Mike.
through a pretty big shootout phase because I needed to kind of figure out what records I wanted to like. With all the jazz records, there's tons of different reissues. Even the vintage ones, there's different reissues. So once I kind of got through that and figured out which one, like which labels sound good, but I made a ton of videos on those. I don't think I do it too much now. I honestly don't have any time to listen to a record multiple times to even do it. And there's so much that I have in my collection that I'm trying to get through. But
you should probably just sell some of your stuff. You got 18 years of at least 18 years of this.
No, 24.
And, you might want to sell off some of your records. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cheap.
But you
know how much it costs to raise a kid these days?
Yeah.
Never
I'm learning.
It's about $1 million.
You could be like Jim, and Jim gives me a bunch of records. I don't need these anymore. And literally, he should send them to a Braille Institute because they're so scratched up and scuffed.
Shut the fuck up.
Do you know how to buy records, Jim?
Those records are mint.
You're supposed to look at the records first before you buy them.
You know what? I never do that. That's one thing I never do.
I see a $27 price tag and a record that looks like it cost $1.
I did. For Music Matters, did they select 45 because that's what they could get licensed to, or did the producers there think that at the time 45 was superior and they wanted to create the best?
That's a good question.
Experience?
Because sometimes it's because you can only get the license to 45.
But in that period of time, it wasn't, vinyl hadn't had the resurgence yet, so maybe it would have been different then when
they did do 33s, so they at some point could get 33.
Not right away. Yeah,
Mazzy said later, towards the end.
The last 2 years, 3 years.
I remember the first time Mazzy reached out to me, like one of the first times. He goes, "Hey,
I did.
Yeah, this is what happened. Hey, Music Matters just dropped 3 33s.
All right,
a regular price. Go get them."
I did say.
I remember that.
Yes. Hey, I want to show some records real quick because I never get to. So I did say, here's the really nice copy I picked up.
You went to see Dark Side of the Moon again? Jesus Christ.
We're not listening to it, but this thing is nice.
So what pressing is that?
It's a second press, U.S. second pressing. So
is that the hot stamper?
I thought they started putting. Yeah, well, no, this can't be a hot stamper. You know why, Jim?
Why?
This is in mint condition. Every best record I've seen had scratches all over it. This is minty, and I'll tell you, I also got that 30th anniversary. That's the best sounding version to me. But the 1983 one I have is really good. Cover is in very minty, nice condition. Then it has all the nice posters. They look like they haven't even been unfolded. Here are 2 stickers. So this is a specimen. This is the one you hope to find, and it really wasn't that expensive. That I find. So okay, so that's that. I got the Record Safari. Goes to Japan a bunch of times a year, and he picks up good ones. This is 1992, and these sound awesome. They sound very good. Jackie McLean. Here's a good. This is Curtis Amy and Paul Bryant.
Nice.
Pacific Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
I bought this for $5. I cleaned it up, and it sounds fantastic.
It's a mono.
Huh?
Mono.
Yes. There's the black's the mono, right?
Yeah.
The blue.
Their labels change so much.
Yeah. I found a couple original CT.
Yeah. How much are you paying for those, if you don't mind?
Well, if I don't like to say because I'll probably sell it, but this came out as a Tone Poet like 3 years ago. Infinity. I think these hold their value, like around $50 to $100. But I found it for cheaper than it's selling for.
Elliot, do you have any of those Blue Notes that have that design?
Not that design, no. I've got a lot of Blue Note. I buy a lot of classics used.
Well, a lot of times this is the only way you can find them. I know in Japan they released them sort of first or earlier. A lot of the titles. This is that Blue Mitchell Step Lightly that they reissued in the Blue Note.
That's a good record.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I have one without a cover, so I found it with the cover and very clean. All right, calm down, Elliot.
Hey, real quick, who's on that Blue
Calm
Mitchell?
down, me. I didn't do nothing.
On the Blue Mitchell?
Yeah, and does it say the year it was recorded?
Yeah, 63. Joe Henderson, Leo Wright, Herbie Hancock, Gene Taylor, and Roy Brooks. Good lineup.
Yeah.
Show that blues record you pulled up.
Well, that's not a blues record, but
You went right through it though.
no, I was in the show, but Mike asked a question. Okay, we have plenty of time, Mazzy. Hold on. So this, the cover's rough, but the record's minty. This is Big John Patton, who I think is he's a bluesy jazz organ player.
Yeah.
So I've never been disappointed. His records are good. This is a Black B Van Gelder. Nice. This is me and Jim went to the Orange County Record Show. There's a guy who likes to let me look at his records before he puts them out. The score I got there was this Donald Byrd Electric Bird.
Yeah.
This is sort of Donald Byrd's. Some people say his version of Bitches Brew. I think this is a little more.
What's the year on that then?
This is 70. I think it came out in 70.
Also, that is a record that's impossible to get without ringware.
Yeah, I picked up the reissue they did, that Detroit 313
yeah.
But this is a Black B, which is 73. It's like a year later Van Gelder.
Yeah,
and this thing sounds awesome. This is
that dark colored cover probably makes the ringware show up.
Yeah,
more.
It's honestly, it's like a joke. I've never seen a vintage copy without ringware.
Well, this is a very sought after record. I'll tell you how my luck works. Record Safari had this a couple weeks ago on their Saturday drop, and a guy ahead of me grabbed this, and 2 weeks later I found it. So,
Mazzy, do you have any records in your collection with ringware?
Not a lot. I have some.
He has ringworm.
No, but and the funny thing is, until I moved here 12 years ago, except for some of my Beatle records, I never put them in plastic sleeves.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't either.
I just take care of them. I don't.
I was more concerned with the record.
This is a reissue, like a 70 reissue, but Van Gelder, and this is a great record.
So that record, you'd say it's Rollins Plays for Birds. So you turn it around, you're like, well, where are the Charlie Parker songs? So
Well,
he
the
actually
side one
does
is
a
medley.
medley.
Yeah.
He does so that medley there, Bird medley, those are just all standards that Bird used to cover a lot. That's all that is.
Yeah. Found a couple Monk records.
Oh, I like that one.
This one?
No, the other one. The other one. I really like that.
Tracer. This is
Yes.
one that won the Grammy for Best Album Cover.
Yeah.
69.
I think it's did Reed Miles take that cover?
I don't know.
He was a photographer, after he did all his design work. Looks like a Reed Miles. Reed Miles did that Norman Rockwell type thing.
This is a Van Gelder stereo, Black Bee, 1973.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love those. Love those.
This is a OJC.
Yep. That's a tough original to get.
Yeah,
What is-
this is
Okay.
tip-on jacket.
Oh, nice.
And then this is a Japanese. I found an original US. So I'll probably put a bunch of these in my next auction. But this is a Japanese pressing of this.
Rob is the AI of LA record buyers because he just gathers all the stuff together and funnels
All
it
those
through.
Dave Baileys are very good.
This is major announcement. Make me big here, Rob. Finally, I'm debuting them here.
How did you get this?
Hasn't been announced yet. Now, according to this is a CD. According to this, my predictions may be right because if you look, there's one on Capitol. So at least the CD set includes the fucking Capitol version, American version. And then I don't know about the vinyl. I can't tell on the vinyl, but there's, look at a 2-record set and 3 singles and a book in a slipcase. So
I could put that up next to
Are you
the.
getting a promo? You getting a promo?
I don't get Beatle promos. Actually.
So
will you buy that?
Oh yeah, come on. I would.
Question.
I will trade the TV between my speakers for it. Right.
I'm going to put it between my blue box, my mono box.
All right.
my Let It Be box.
All right. So question, Mazzy.
Yes.
Is the US song, it's the same as the UK, right?
No, where have you been? Watch my fucking video.
Yeah, hold on. It's a rule I stay by where
I know. I'm kidding.
How was your response to the video, Mazzy?
I got overnight. It's 24 hours, not yet, and I have over 12,000 views on.
Hold on, Mike. You could do a video. Just call Beatles. It doesn't matter if Beatles are in the.
I watched a good bit of it. I thought it was pretty good. I like how you started it with just like improvisation.
Well,
everything's improvisation.
Beatles is always going to draw views. That's for sure.
It is. Well, but you know something? I knew it was coming, but I didn't know when. I had no idea it was being announced this week. So that was
you guys have been predicting it for years now.
Yeah,
ever since the last box, the Revolver.
If you predict it, it'll eventually happen, right?
Exactly. But part of the thing is people have been waiting and waiting, and last year was the 60th anniversary, so it's a year late. But the pandemic pushed everything back and everything, and a lot of.
Hold on, I'll tell you how Mazzy works. About 2 weeks ago, he was like from a deep sleep, like a nightmare. He woke up drenched in sweat. He looked up to the sky and said, "Beatles box."
Rob, let me educate you.
Wait.
We know how Capitol Record bastardized the UK editions. A couple of reasons. First of all, they thought the American market was different, which maybe it was early on, then they should have just kept it the same. But a lot of it was economics because in Britain, you pay royalties based on an album, no matter how many tracks are on. In America, you pay publishing and royalties per track. So they would only include 11 or 12 tracks in America, where in UK, you would have 14 tracks. So they would take some songs off and add, like, for every 3 albums they make, there'd be a 4th Beatle album that didn't exist in the UK. Plus they'd put all the singles in America, which they rarely did or didn't do at all really in the UK. They did it in America. But Rubber Soul, they took some songs off of Help because in America we had a soundtrack of Help, not an album with all Beatles songs. We had scores on there as well. So Hard Day's Night and Help were soundtracks here. Okay. Yeah. Technology changed too. But a a lot of people consider the American Rubber Soul as more folksy, more folk rock, more acoustic, because they lead off with I'm Looking Through You. It's very acoustic, more than Drive My Car in the UK. So 10 of the songs are the same, but the rest are different. And it gives it a folky vibe because 1965 was the Byrds and Dylan Goes Electric, and that folk rock thing was really heating up. Sonny and Cher, all that kind of stuff.
Is there any difference in the graphic design of the UK and
No,
USLP?
no. I mean,
flip back covers.
No. Yeah, but no, the same picture, no name of the band. It just had the Rubber Soul. That was one of the first albums without listing. Everybody could recognize the Beatles then. Front and back were almost identical,
So you just looked at what came by now. Is there a mono and a stereo in that box, or
we don't know? It's hard to tell yet. Probably yes, but
so
remember last time
you could say there's probably a U.S. version in the UK.
Well, that's the thing that there's been on the forums all this argument because a lot of people, especially the Brits, and I understand this, say don't bastardize it, don't put the American version in. It's not real. It's not what the artist intended. All that stuff, but it was a culturally big record, and obviously, I mean, this isn't a reason to justify it, but the American configuration sold way more because there's more people than the British one. Now that doesn't mean anything, I know. Same with Canada. It was in Canada too.
Back then, could you get the Beatles as an import?
Yeah, but it was harder until I bought my first imports like late '67, early '68. So it took a while.
And usually the imports were just one or two boxes at a record store. Imports.
Yeah, they had a bin, and they were like $2 or $3 more.
While we've got Matt here, Mike here, and given that we never ever talk about the Beatles, can I switch the subject a little bit and show a couple of jazz records I got?
Hold on, Elliot. Are we done with the Beatles talk, everyone?
No.
Elliot, are you getting it?
Can I just listened to this.
Hold on. Elliot asked to change the subject. If you're going to change the subject with something stupid, okay, that's related.
So I had 2 copies of this, Elliot, and I was doing a shootout this morning.
Oh God!
Last night to see which one I want to keep.
Don't say shootout when you talk about that album.
Yeah, exactly. How about
John or Yoko win the shootout?
How about the last song, which is "Hard Times Are Over"? Oops.
Yeah.
Anyway, great fucking record. Really great.
The Yoko songs are more forward-looking than the Johns.
Yeah. I think the Yoko songs, one or two of them are like complete mistakes. Should never have been on this record, but some of them are okay. But all in all, it's a great record. It truly is.
See what you did, Elliot? You made them talk more about the Beatles.
I know. I'm so sorry. We shootouts for people comparing one record to the other, that's fine. It's more about the obsession and the videos of shootouts.
I know what you're saying. Those are nuts. To try to
Elliot is against using gun culture in your description.
To try to shoot out.
How about some records that I had never? Well, one of them I had the CD for years, but the other 3 I've never listened to until I put them up, cleaned them up, found them in the wild, cleaned them up, and put them on, and thoroughly enjoyed.
Let us be the judge of that.
Okay. This is a really good sounding record, both musically and sonically. Thad Jones and Mel Lewis, New Life on Horizon. Kind of a big band jazz.
Okay. So I feel like those Horizon records there was no real audio mastering. They're poorly mastered records.
But this sounded very good on my system. This sounded very good. A big, full, big band sound. And I'm not really well versed in Mel Lewis or Thad Jones, so I really enjoyed that.
Did you do the jitterbug to it while it was playing?
No, it wasn't that type of big band jazz. It was more just a full, more of a Ellington type.
Yeah. That was their deal.
Yeah. And this, of course, really in my wheelhouse. I've had this CD for years, but from France, Stefan Grappelli and David Grisman.
Very nice.
This is a nice album, very good album. Live.
That's cool.
It's a live album.
I'm not too familiar with that guitarist. Who is that?
It's mandolinist, David Grisman, mandolinist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was more jazz bluegrass-ish.
He was originally a bluegrass artist who also does jazz and classical, and
he did some stuff with Garcia.
What he calls dog music. So he's just like most great musicians. He is not bound by category. And so it's sort of Stefan Grappelli with Django Reinhardt and the Hot Band of Paris.
What are they doing on that? What type of material?
They're doing Swing 42, which is a Reinhardt song, of course.
Yeah.
Satin Dolls on here. Tiger Rag. Misty is on here, the Errol Gardner Misty. And a melody of three kind of classical sounding jazz tunes that David Grisman wrote. I won't try to pronounce them, but it's like 3-part melody. And of course, Stefan's signature song, Sweet Georgia Brown. And I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah, you never ever tell a quick story.
Tony, I will. Watch, timing. Tony Rice was in David Grisman Quintet, and they started working with Stefan some. And Tony Rice decided to go his own way, to quit Grisman's band and go back out on his own. And the reasoning was they were about to do a tour with Stefan Grappelli. And Tony Rice said, I just cannot spend 6 months playing Sweet Georgia Brown every night. I'm quitting. And that's why he left. So that's quick. That was quick. That was under a minute.
No. I have it right here. It took you 15 minutes to say that.
Okay. Y'all are exaggerating now. And I know Rob loves to make fun of the old jazz artists, but this is on Milestone. And the Kid's Greatest. Kid Ory. I say Ory. Is that how you say it? Creole Jazz Band.
I'm not from New Orleans.
Okay. Great New Orleans jazz, but it's not recorded back in the 20s or 30s. This is a 1950s, a bunch of 1950s recordings.
Yeah.
And I love this stuff. Really good stuff.
Nice. And
also in the ragtime or New Orleans jazz. I was not familiar with this artist, Muggsy Spiner, and his ragtime band. And again, this is not an early recording. This is on the King Jazz Story, I believe is the name of the label, out of Italy. Joker, actually, out of Italy. And this is a New Orleans style ragtime band. Anybody familiar with this artist?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
I thought he was the guy on the cartoons that hung with Dick Dastardly.
Are these all new acquisitions, Elliot?
Yeah, stuff I picked up recently, cleaned up in the wild, stuff I got in the wild.
I am listening.
All right, Elliot, question.
That's what I got.
Can I ask Elliot a question? Elliot, you ever go into a record store, see a record you really got to have, grab it, bring it home, and find out you already have a copy of it?
That's happened, yes.
Yeah, but it happens to you more.
That's when I do shootouts. When I get 3 of those, I go, fuck it, I got to get rid of 2 of these.
I've been at Jim. Here's the best way I've been at Jim's where he pulls out a stack of records and they're all the same record. It's like listening to Elliot Cruz tell a short story.
Y'all lied about how long that
You
took.
and I, Elliot, we're the same. We are the
Somebody in the peanut gallery did time it. I guarantee you it was about 40 seconds.
I don't think they were that interested in either timing it or the story.
You hurt my
don't
feelings
understand.
so much, Rob. You always hurt my feelings.
Did
Elliot doesn't understand
you-
attention spans.
You have a disposition made out of steel, Elliot Cruz. It's impossible to upset you.
Rob,
No,
did you ever
Elliot's got
did you ever
attention
mention the
span that goes forever?
Rob,
Unlike
Did I ever
the rest
mention
of
what?
us.
the Joe Henderson box that Nick Phillips mentioned?
No, because it hasn't. Well, I thought when it's from when you interviewed, right?
Yeah, it's on the interview. He only
Yeah, but it hasn't come, like they haven't started publicizing it or any. Way,
no,
right?
but he did mention it publicly, so it's fair game.
But it's we don't know if it's a box of, because it's essentially Kraft has already released reissued 3 of his milestone titles.
So for people who aren't familiar, we interviewed Nick Phillips, who does the boxes for Kraft, the jazz boxes. And I asked him if there's anything he could share about what's coming down the pike. And he mentioned that they're working on a Joe Henderson box. That's all he could say. But that's kind of exciting. So we'll see what that is.
I got 2 major releases that came out this past week, and it's not anything to do with Beatles.
Okay, Elliot, show him as he has.
This
Muddy
great.
Waters.
I'm going to give Chad a shout out, because Chad has been sort of curating with Chess and Universal this Chess 75 series, and these have been excellent. The Muddy Waters. This is one where he's actually very soulful as a singer. There's brass involved, so it's kind of like a Stax almost thing, almost like an Otis Redding vibe for Muddy Waters, and that's pretty cool. And the other one is the Rocking Chair album by Howlin' Wolf. I know Rob will know this guy possibly, but this is an excellent series of records. I love this whole Chess.
Mazzy, do you have an original of that?
No. I don't have original of either of these. I have this stuff on CD on these comps, but the thing is, at this point, if I had an original and if it was worth, I don't think it's worth a lot, but if I did, I would sell it, because
Rob, how much is an original of that Howlin' Wolf?
I know
Howlin'
that
Wolf?
Jim, this is one of Jim's stories, so he's probably told it a bunch. Someone left a box of records on his porch, and they were all shitty records, except I think there were 2 original Chess records in there. I think there was a Howlin' Wolf, and that's like $100 to $150 record.
Chad has not emailed me. He has not called me. He's not reached out to me. Not that he should, but he has not. He has not.
Mazzy, what do you think about this? Are you an original guy?
Well, obviously my Beatles, Kinks, certain things, British artists that I've had, I will keep the UK originals. But anything jazz-wise or other records, like I had a Residents record, the first Residents, Meet the Residents. Like,
Yeah, but you sold it for a lot of money, right?
I sold it for like $750, and there only 1,000 were pressed, and I had it in the shrink still from when I bought it. And there's a reissue, but I don't even listen to the record anymore. But I didn't need an original of that. I'm sitting on my shelf.
I think Sundays reissued it.
Well, this maybe, but I don't think it was Sundays.
It
So
was
if I have an original that's worth some money, I have no problem selling it. My Beatles stuff I won't, but I'm selling a lot of the other Beatles stuff, multiples I have. Yeah,
I would think that Howlin' Wolf original would be worth a lot of money.
if it goes for $1,000, and if I had it, I would definitely sell it right now, because I will say this: the ones I have had originals, these sound better than the originals. Not just different, but actually better, because those Chess pressings weren't great pressings. And those came out like in
I have a lot of Argo, which was owned by Chess.
Right.
And those pressings, I mean, they're okay. They're nothing, I've never really been blown away by them.
Right.
And
like Etta James.
Mm-hmm.
I
think more often than not, people pay for a lot of money for the OG copy, not necessarily for the audio quality, but
they want the artifact.
And they usually do sound good. It's not like they sound bad.
Yeah.
No, the jazz titles, like the Ahmad Jamal titles, sound excellent.
I think they sound, in my opinion, 9 times out of 10, OGs sound better. They sound different. You can't get that sound anymore because we're using modern equipment now. But I like that sound, to be honest with you. Most of the time, I find A lot of these reissues have a color to them.
Listen,
That's
we're
similar.
colorblind. Hold on, Jim. We're colorblind here.
Jim, do you want to take this question from Alex?
Do you want to come up and explain it, Alex?
This seems like pretty. Yeah, it's devastating news here.
Yeah. How can you go on when that happens at 143? For crying out loud!
Oh no!
I saw Chris Isaac in concert in Raleigh at a club back in the late 80s. Very good show.
Hey,
Alex wants to come up. How do we get up? Just drop a link.
We need Alex.
You have to message me while I'm talking, and I'll send you the link. Hey, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, people. This is the same album that came out for Record Store Day on white vinyl, and people flipped their lid saying it's one of the best sounding records there is. Am I wrong about that? Then they reissued it as a Record Store Day Essential title. So was it the same mastering?
Probably.
Get Alex up here. He knows.
You know, I'll tell you one thing, and people don't talk about this much. Remember when Chris Isaac did that sitcom for Showtime?
Yeah,
that was a good show.
It was good.
You remember when he awkwardly tried to kiss the fellow presenter at was it a Grammy Award or something? And then Jim Carrey kissed him as to kind of calm him down, I guess.
He's a funny dude.
I have a rich friend who lives up in the Hollywood Hills who looks down on his backyard.
Scott Wheeler's absolutely right with these chests, but it's the same with the Tone Poets. Remember, we always hear these stories of Joe Harley talking when they listened to all those Blue Note things going back to Music Matters Jazz, and they were going to do these great reissues, and they listened to the tape and they thought, instead of emulating the original records, there's more on the tape that we can do now that they had a compromise on back then. And that's the whole thing about these days, you can cut what's more on the tape. So all those 50s and 60s records were somewhat of a compromise. Now, that compromise was a great compromise, but they couldn't do way highs and a lot of lows because of the systems people played. And that's why there's always going to be a difference with these new, quote, audiophile things compared to originals. That alone. It's kind of like the RL Zeppelin. That's kind of like what they would theoretically, hopefully do now that they couldn't do then. They did it, and it was jumping off turntables, so that's why it got replaced.
The reissue of Uncle Meat is so different, but it's so there's so much more information there.
Beefheart record.
Pardon me?
What record is that? Uncle Meat.
Uncle Meat. It's
the Mothers of Invention.
Mothers of Invention, 60s. I was listening to Shaggy, the opinionated hippie. Holy cow, does that guy know his shit? And he was saying he thinks this is like his favorite Zappa record. So I started listening to it again, and man, is it good. It's so freaking good. Early Mothers.
How many official releases did Zappa put out?
Oh. Before he died, he put out about 90, and now it's over 100, around 150 official.
This is the only record I bought at this record show pop-up, and I've been looking for a nice copy of Song Cycle. I no longer have it on vinyl. I only had it. This is Van Dyke Parks. This is a quirky album. It's not for everyone, but what's interesting about it, I had no idea that Rhino, Chris Bellman, did this cut in 2012 or 2013, and it's a beautiful copy, and they obviously did the original label, and they did the original inserts, which Rhino's certainly not doing now, the W7, and it's numbered as 2500. I didn't know they did this, and it's interesting because one of my videos in the last month, Fremer commented, I think it was on my video, he said he's working on a reissue of this record. So I don't know what that's about. That's what he said. He commented on a video, either my video or in a comments on a forum. And
your name dropping now, Mazzy.
No, but I'm just saying
it's
interesting. I've been looking for a nice copy of this record for a while, and Randy Newman's on it. In fact, he covers a Randy Newman song, Vine Street.
And who was he classmates in high school with?
Well, he was friends with Brian Wilson. I don't think it was classmates, but I don't know.
He was in high school with some of those guys.
Hey, I saw him. I ran into him at test screenings because he did the music on some movies. Very nice. And then I saw him live, and he has huge stage fright, and he played with his back to the audience.
Leland, my cart supposedly is going to be installed this afternoon. We'll see. And I'm not going to review it until I get at least 50 to 60 hours on it.
That won't take but about what?
You understand that,
That's like the weekend.
Leland, first of all, please don't address Mazzy in the comments. Secondly, do you understand that, Leland?
Do you have to have rules? Do you have to make rules?
I have rules when you can't talk to 5 other people on the screen.
So the shock of Chris Isaac, we're going to hear from the Mr. Alex himself.
All right. I want to hear your outrage, Alex Dickey. Please go.
Well, listen, just disclaimer, I don't actually have the MoFi one step of the new Chris Isaac Heart-Shaped World.
Is it already released?
It's released. David Bianco broke the news last night on his live stream. And so apparently, here's what's happening. So lots of definition, great bottom end on the MoFi one step. But on the number one track that everybody wants is the Wicked Game, one of my favorites.
The sex show song. Yeah.
Yeah. This is according to David Bianco at 143 on that track. It sounds as though somebody has taken a blanket and put it over your speaker, but not over the whole thing, just over the snare drum.
And how long does it last?
Which part of my speaker is the snare drum part?
Is it 1 second, 143?
No, it's significant. It could be anywhere between 1 minute to the whole track. We don't know how deep this goes. But MoFi, David Bianco has reached out to MoFi. They know of the issue. They're working on it right now. He doesn't know if he's getting a new, like a replacement, but they're looking into it. They're trying to figure out what the issue is with that snare.
Now, question for you, Alex Dickey.
Yeah.
You're stepping into the in-groove territory of breaking MoFi news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, technically,
this
is David Bianco that broke this. I'm just kind of regurgitating what he said. But
so Bianco's going up against Phoenix, huh?
Do we feel it's more snare drum gate or MoFi gate part 2?
I'm surprised by this because I'm a big fan of Krieg's work. Like I have that Parliament.
I do too. I like most of Krieg's.
That has a bottom end that just goes on for days. You know, it sounds amazing.
Didn't he play with the association back in the day?
Who?
Krieg.
No. Is that a joke?
Yes, it was a joke.
Do you have to be from the hills of North Carolina?
No, you have to
watch
the
association. What's the joke?
You have to watch the Office. Or what band was he in?
Oh, he was in the
association or Bread.
No, not the association.
No, you're thinking of Ted Templeman.
No, Krieg from
Ted Temple was in Harper's Bazaar.
All right, calm down, Mazzy.
I don't calm down. Just shut the fuck up, dude.
Whoa, let's arm wrestle right now.
The grassroots.
Grassroots. Okay. The grassroots.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Jeff.
I don't see why the negative shit about David. Like, I don't know.
We're not being negative.
I've been waiting. He said he was going to drop his review for the for Wicked Game or for Heart-Shaped World last Wednesday, and he never did. So, I follow him. Like, I'm looking every day for his content.
Okay, that's an honest question. Should you drop a review and right away when you have an issue like that, if it's a defect, you should mention it, shouldn't you?
I think he's entitled. Yeah, I think that's the response.
And then say, okay, if there's an issue and the label is taking care of it, then you come up, do another review and say they fixed the issue if there is an issue.
And you have to ask, is it artist intent?
Yeah. But here's my feeling about things, information we feel like everyone should know. I kind of feel like the territory we're going in, and the critique of Wyatt, the Hawaiian guy, is that we should verify somehow. So I would generally go, my copy, I feel, has the sound. Does anyone out there have the Chris Isaac MoFi?
You know,
to make the same comment.
Let me respond to Wyatt here. with all the releases coming out, yes, they do listen to them, but sometimes shit still slips out. I've done things, I proofread things and had other people proofread things that I've written, and it still comes out and it's the mistake, and everyone doesn't see like this one glitch. It happens, and orally can happen too. So if they make it right and fix it, that's fine. But shit happens, really. So
okay, I once.
But
put out a
hold
copy
on. If you are an audiophile reissue label where you hang your hat on your sound, I mean, to not QC it is like,
it's going to be interesting.
You know, that's like the basics.
Do you think they're all like that? Do you think it could be a batch?
Can we wave our finger? I'm just requesting this. I'm okay with someone saying, I believe this is a problem, but is there anyone else out there verifying that this is an issue?
Has anyone else heard it? That's my point.
I once put out a copy of Record Collector News where we misspelled Elvis in a giant headline, and nobody saw it.
I will give a free record to the next
Elvis, E-L-I-V-S.
I will give a free record to the next person who gets a red pen and goes through Record Collector News and just goes through all the mistakes in it.
And then once when I worked at the LA Weekly, we put out a rate card. It was proofed by everybody. And we printed it up, and nowhere on it did it say LA Weekly.
Yeah, I did a Beatles
so
promotion.
Come on.
I did a Beatles promotion years ago, and there's a line in a John Lennon song, God is a concept by which we measure our pain. And this is the days of Letraset. You know Letraset, Jim, right?
Back, yeah.
Yeah. And I wrote, and we didn't read it. My buddy confirmed it. And I wrote, God is a by which. Not, you know, and it was up there.
Concept. You dropped concept.
Witch, like a witch that goes both ways.
Instead of God is a concept.
Honestly, I don't know what
we left out the concept.
You left out the word
Can
concept.
hold on. It seems like this is the issue. People are chasing. It's clickbait is a strong way to say this. People are chasing the next MoFi gate. And I honestly believe that David heard something that doesn't sound right. But did he reach out and said, look, I'm waiting to hear back from MoFi?
Rob, I just told you that.
I'm not critiquing.
He didn't even want to talk about this last night. I kind of pushed him to talk about it.
Well, you have that power over people.
So if you're releasing releasing the Chris Isaak album, isn't there one song you would listen to make sure that it was not going to be fucked up? One song.
You're right. But
name one song.
Scott Wheeler just mentioned. Remember how crappy Pretzel Logic sounded, and you know,
and to hit the snare drum, like when I listened to the Levi cut, the 2022 white RSD Essential.
Am I right about that? People said that's audiophile.
It's absolutely fantastic, which is why I was waiting for the David Bianco route to see if I needed an upgrade. But right now, I don't feel safe buying stuff from MoFi. I don't feel safe buying stuff from Analog Productions.
You just now don't feel safe buying stuff from MoFi.
Mark safe from buying MoFi records.
You just now have felt uncomfortable buying from MoFi?
Why do people take this stuff so?
Are you looking over your shoulder when you walk down the street, Alex Dickey?
Safe.
That kind of safe?
I don't think safe's the right word, Alex. Safe's not the right word.
I'll do this with today. I actually have this record behind me. I don't know why, but this is Wicked Game. So this one doesn't have any digital step, I don't think. But yeah.
Is it a radio cut or the original cut of the song?
How do I tell?
I should say, aren't 45s generally the radio singles?
Well, this does have an edit. So one is 4 minutes and 6 seconds, 1 minute's 4:48.
So same song on both sides.
Yeah, but different edits.
Yeah.
Hey Patrick, I got a question for you.
Is it a legit question?
Mike Esposito's recent new release drop, I noticed one thing that he won't say anything about the new UHQR Who's Next. Have you heard the Classic Records version of it? Because a lot of people are saying that that's actually not a great pressing at all.
I haven't liked. I mean, I would agree. I would agree that when I pull a Who's Next album, it's not. We played Sophie Cunningham. Is that what we're doing? We're doing Sophie Cunningham. But that's not one that I pull out.
No, Sophie's this.
Is
this
the classic.
Sophie right here.
No, I mean
I don't know what are you putting a curse on all of us, Elliot Cruz?
Only Patrick understands this.
I do. I love Sophie too.
Yeah. No,
Well,
I
what's
was
the word
actually,
then?
I was
The classic
actually
records is
pointing
shit?
at,
Is that
I
I
what
was
we're doing?
actually pointing at my little label here that,
Yes,
that
there you
says
go.
it all.
Historically black
HBCU
college.
better than
Okay.
Wow. I didn't know
UHQR.
that. They use
Oh, hold
rainbow?
on. Respect. Probably one of the more respectable people to make comments is been at least the last two live streams bored shitless, and he's come here and made comments. So wait, I know that production issues were riddled through classic record stuff.
Yep.
So was that because Rainbow
If
pressed
they
stuff?
used rainbow, then that was shit.
I told
Yeah,
you,
Rainbow was
I
not
paid the most I had paid for a record. I paid $350 for the
hang on.
classic
I'll tell you what I got.
Who's Tommy sealed, and it's only got the little clip sealed, and it had a blob of vinyl on side 2, track 1, so I have to skip 2 minutes in
Oh my
to
God.
play
gosh.
side 2. And once you buy something from a a dealer, and it's sealed, you can't really return it. It's not their fault.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this: I bought a brand new classic records, I think it was, of Lee Morgan Leeway, and they had the piece like a sticker over like a Japanese sleeve.
Right.
They weren't sealed.
It had the seal is not broken.
Yeah, the seal's not broken.
You can't it's not the kind you can peel off and put back to make it look like it hasn't been opened.
You need to highlight Joe Williamson's comment just a little above there. I think that's the real question about this
Where?
Wicked Games. Joe Williamson's comment.
This one?
No, go up a little bit later. I'll read it if you want me to.
Please read it. I'm
Please
not.
do.
I didn't know I had that record.
He said, are we sure David didn't just have a dust bunny on his stylus?
There you
Look,
go.
I mean, I don't
David
know.
would
What he
know
does
that.
to-
David would
I don't
that.
know what David does to shoot out or listen, but I gotta feel like it's at a higher level
Yeah.
than you listening to Stephen Graffielli records. Ellie Cruz.
Yeah, he's got brand
Raffaelli.
new Polk
Stephen
audio
Raffaelli.
speakers. He's got
Stephen
double
Not Raffaelli.
exact same.
Don't disparage Stefan Grappelli.
Yeah,
Watch it.
come on,
Right.
Rob.
So
Really?
here's my classic collection of the Who. So I do have the Who's next.
And you,
I have,
before you show them, Patrick, you feel they did really good job with the Who records, right?
I think that no, not really, actually. So this
Well, you
one I
said
just
Go ahead.
hold on. This one I didn't think was stellar. I didn't think this one was great.
Was it the pressing quality or was it the mastering?
It was the mastering. I don't remember this at all. So this is the classic. I'll have to revisit this, but I heard the tape was like shot, so I'd have to go revisit that.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
This is excellent. Sounds different than the
Yeah.
UK, but it's excellent.
It
Really,
is excellent.
really good.
That one Mike
And-
Esposito shootout.
And this is really good too. The Quadrophenia is really good. It's almost 200 grams. So that's the extent of my Who classic record.
But you
What
say
do you go for? What is your go-to for Who's Next then?
That would be either the UK or the German or the French of the Doug Sachs cut with the MG 18888 and 1888889.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that I typically gravitate to.
Now, University of Vinyl, he's out there telling people that the US ones are Doug Sachs, but there's no TML in the Dead Wax. Can you?
Well, there's no
confirm that
there's no
those
TML in the UK or the German either.
The German has TML. That was confirmed last night on David Bianco's stream.
I've had the German, and I have another German coming that I've never seen TML in the Dead Wax.
Just because it's on some of the Dead Wax doesn't mean it's on every pressing that
Good point. Yeah.
comes out.
What you really want to make sure you have the hand SMG 18888 and 18889.
Yeah.
So that's what you're really looking for, not the TML. You want the hand SMG. Those are the same across all of them.
Damn, I'll never remember all that, Patrick.
But for the US, you've got the minus W1, you've got the minus W1X, the minus W2, the minus W3. So those are all variants as well. Some people hear differences.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, whoa, just a minute. Rob, have you got somebody keeping minutes?
Hey, listen, Ellie Cruz.
Somebody needs to keep minutes because I can't.
You can go back and watch
I
it.
can't get all this written down. I
Elliot
can't keep up with all these numbers.
Patrick,
That
Hold
is the
on, I
Deca.
can help Elliot. Let me help Elliot Cruz out for 5 seconds. I'm not taking the stream down, Elliot. You can go back and rewind it. Secondly,
Rob,
there is a
joke, Rob.
you don't make jokes, Elliot. You're not funny.
Patrick,
You're
You're the butt of them, Elliot. No, you don't
can
make them. You're the butt of them.
Elliot, you can. There's a transcript. You can get transcripts through
Hey,
YouTube.
Patrick. Wait,
well,
Patrick. Who am I emulating, Patrick? Hey, Patrick. You know nothing about Patrick knows nothing about record pressings.
I'm not going to say who you're talking about, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I'll leave it at that. I'm
Rob knows
talking
who
to
you're
Jim and saying that about Patrick.
Yes. Yes.
I got
Patrick, what's that turntable you got behind you, Patrick?
Behind me? Oh, it's just a Technics. It's a 1300G with the Cab USA fluid damper.
Oh, hey, PB Thal. Something that came up a couple of days ago. I can't remember the live stream. Can you put to bed the rumors that you're using a sugar cube on your auctions? Because a lot of people are saying that you're
I've
using
heard this
that to
too.
cut out all the clicks and stuff to bump up the price.
No, I mean, I thought about that the other day. I was like, I could take a screenshot. There's a button that when it's engaged, it lights up on the sugar cube, and when it's disengaged, it has a bypass button. It's blue, so it's like that. So
you might want to put another camera on that because that's kind of getting out there right now.
You know, if somebody thinks that they get a record and it's noisy, then they can always return it. There's never a problem.
Yeah, but at what cost?
So.
Yeah,
No cost. I'll pay the shipping.
Alex, people are always going to try to find some way to criticize. That's just some people's human nature.
I don't think it's criticism.
Yes,
I don't think it's criticism. I think
yes,
what
it
is.
It's wanting to kick Patrick down a little bit.
Well, it's deceptive, is what it is.
On Patrick's side, it would be deceptive if he was using a sugar cube, and I don't think people asking those questions is any issue with that.
I'm looking this up, and it says Decca had their own pressing plant in the U.S. Does anyone know anything about that?
I do remember specifically 1973, MCA put out 2 double albums with massive packages, Quadrophenia and Yellow Brick Road. And we would get literally our store. We were like a medium-sized store. We'd get 1,000 copies, like initially, of each record, and there'd be boxes and stacks. Half of those were warped and had issues because of the packaging, and we had to go through so many copies initially when those 2 records came out, and they're both MCA.
Alex, on this previous subject, can you tell me who's been saying this? So since you obviously have heard this from somebody, why don't you tell me your source of who has been saying this?
Well, that's going to wreck my relationship with that person if I.
Well, that's fine. It's going to wreck that relationship with you, or with me, or with them. So one of the two. So if you're going to bring that up here, if you're going to bring that up here, then why don't you tell me who's saying shit about me so that I can address it with them personally?
Touche.
Good point.
Hey, Patrick is ready for a fight with people who say shit about him.
Hey, I got an album, a concert review.
Yes.
Okay. Did anybody recognize who that is?
I can't
Eddie Murphy.
Your Uncle Joe.
No, my sister-in-law sent me this Sunday evening, and I said, Billy Bob, ? And she said, yes. And then she said, you can't understand a word. And I said, are you at the House of Blues? And she said, no, Alabama Theater. And then she said, we left early. And then I said, why do all the great actors think they are rock stars and all the great rock stars think they're great actors?
Well, I can tell you.
And well, let me finish.
Okay.
And she said, I have no idea, but he was awful. Ernie, that's my brother, Ernie all but ran to the parking lot.
Wow.
They left early.
Billy Bob has been good, though, in music in the past.
Well, maybe his albums may be good, but
just
evidently in concert, because if you can't sound good at the Alabama Theater, a nice maybe 3,000 seat or 4,000 seat amphitheater, she said they could. So that's her quick text message review of Billy Bob's show at North Myrtle Beach.
Listen, if you gave me a free ticket to see Dennis Quaid, who has a band, which is horrible, or Kevin Costner, or you get more like
tour now,
or like Dog Star with Keanu Reeves.
We're going on tour, Dog Star.
Yeah, or Captain Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp, his band,
Hollywood Vampires.
I'm not going.
There's a great interview that Billy Bob did with this Canadian broadcaster Q, and this was back in the day when he was kind of doing his tour. He was with his band, and he went totally ape shit on that interview because the guy asked him about his acting career, and I guess you're not supposed to ask him about that if he's like on a music tour. But yeah, the Canadians do not like Billy Bob Thornton.
Well, Billy Bob Thornton is a great actor and a great director and an excellent writer when he writes his own scripts.
Stay in your own
But
lane.
what he was before he was an actor was a roadie. He was a roadie.
No, he
and
was
all
in bands.
roadies think they can play rock and roll.
But he was in bands.
I sat next to him
Mainly
at
a
a bar.
roadie, though.
The bass player for DC Top disagrees, Elliot.
I sat next to him at a bar in LA once. He came up, sat down. We started, and he was recording downstairs. There was a studio, I guess, in the Sunset Marquee, and we were talking about music. And he was the greatest. Like we talk about Warren Zevon a lot, obviously, and it was a great conversation. So I've heard other people say he was an ass, but in that hour of talking music and it was actually really kind of cool, I thought. And this was about 18 years ago or so.
Yeah, well, I think Billy Bob's great. I love him, but
I didn't know
evidently he's not good live in concert. At least he was
Yeah.
at Sunday night.
You should stick to Landman.
Can I go back to classic records? I have a comment on classic
You
records.
may go back, Elliot. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So, is it the case that Michael Hobson was one of the last people to get the tapes from Sony, and then shortly after that they kind of shut down the?
I think. Hold on. I think the way I understand it is Sterling was able to get tapes. You could only, but they at their New York operation, not before they moved to Nashville or something.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, Sterling. They said it. They okayed Sterling to get the.
I was told this year from someone from Sony that one of the reasons they don't do tapes at all anymore is they got burned a couple of specific times. He wouldn't tell me which times and who he got burned with, but about master tapes, something happened to him.
I can tell you what it was. Michael Hobson making illegal copies of Led Zeppelin catalog.
So that's not Columbia.
And ruining it for a whole generation.
So
that's not Sony.
So Patrick,
I
are
some water right here.
outside of the Who that has been discussed, are there other classic records that that their reissue is the one that you would recommend, the best one?
Off the top of my head,
I can't think of one.
Well,
Allman Brothers live at the Fillmore is really good. That one's good. But Humble Pie at the Fillmore is good. It's live album. They seem to do pretty well with double albums.
Mike, I know that Classic Records issued records that were only ever issued on vinyl by them. So there's, I think, a few.
Genesis isn't bad.
I have a Wynton Marsalis, not Wynton, your brother. One of his records was only issued on vinyl. By
Branford, the one who was in the Grateful Dead.
Yeah,
was Hot Rats a classic, Jim?
Yeah, they did a classic of it.
Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah,
but
I have a test
Neil
pressing
Young
of it,
record.
classic
Neil
test
Young.
pressing.
Who owns the Zappa catalog, Jim?
Now they sold it to Universal, and they're doing a really good job.
Chris Bellman's got a ton of those.
There's a Zappa guy who manages it, right?
Yeah, the Vaultmeister. I'm blanking on his name. They took him over to Universal as well.
So are the classic Blue Notes are those actually less expensive than the newer reissues? I would think that the newer reissues are cheaper than the classic ones.
They are, yeah. They also did monos for a number of them. A number of stereo titles.
And a lot of them were Bernie remasterings. Right?
I think.
Yeah, that was a question I had. So was Bernie the only mastering engineer that Classic Records used?
I don't know.
He was kind of their go-to guy, I think. I mean, I can't. Like I said, I wasn't a huge classic guy, but I think most of the stuff that I have would be was Bernie. So yeah. I would say yeah.
He used to sign his full name back in the classic days. Have you ever seen one of those? It's a beautiful.
Yeah, I have one of those. Yep. I have I have a 4 single-sided 45 record box of Louis and Duke Ellington, and it has his full signature in the dead wax.
That single-sided, I told that story of having Coffee Dave's Led Zeppelin anvil case, was the stupidest fucking thing ever. Single-sided, it's an anvil case, and I listened to them all, and they weren't that great.
I have
bookends. I have bookends, and it's pretty fucking good.
I have Cole Strutton, one-sided Cole Strutton.
The way I see it is when you look at like the Classic Records catalog of what they reissued and the ways they reissued it, it seemed like they were just experimenting. Like I think the single-sided thing, like there was a theory behind it, and they were like, "Let's do it."
Right,
Let's
they were
give
just
it a
fucking
shot.
around.
Right.
Their problem was they just overprinted it, probably everything.
And they were doing stuff.
The classic Aqualung is pretty good too. So I have
They were
that.
doing
I have
stuff
a single
without
sided.
permission of the artist too in the labels.
Some of the Peter Gabriel stuff, I think people say is pretty good, but it's all the 200-gram stuff was like turn me off.
They were
'Cause
doing
it actually would fuck up your VTA at least on my turntable.
I'm pretty sure Jimmy Page went absolutely berserk when he found out that the Classic did that road case.
Yeah,
because that was totally under the table.
Yeah,
really.
And I feel like amends need to be made with that, because like I appreciate what Steve Westman's doing to get this thing going, but until the truth comes out and Michael Hobson comes clean about all this, like I don't think Jimmy Page is even going to. Like, if he tried to take bread out of my family's mouth like he did, you're damn right I wouldn't be signing up to do another.
That ship has sailed, Alex.
Oh, hold on.
Okay, but Alex, more recently, were you going to come clean about the Sugar Cube incident?
Yeah.
That's a totally different story. I'm not going to.
No,
I don't
it's
reveal my
not.
sources,
You
Elliot.
said that you're taking food out of Patrick's mouth.
No, I'm not. I'm giving him the opportunity to get the record straight.
Never reveals his source.
You're not giving me the opportunity to address my accuser, though, Alex. You're just doing.
I will private message you in private.
Okay.
Patrick.
Hey, I'm more
fair.
I'm more curious, Alex Dickey. What type of bread is being taken out of your family?
Is it sourdough?
Yes,
it is. I made sourdough bagels
nice fruit.
I just think it's funny that Patrick literally plays the record so everybody can hear. Like you have like the most like transparent auction there is. Anyway, it's just fantastic.
I'm not transparent.
Well,
I mean, because
Patrick's playing the record for them to hear.
But the question was about the sugar cube.
Because
so right now, let me see. So hang on.
It's because it's haters being haters, Mike.
Hey, by the way, when I play records on my auctions, I use Splenda. No sugar.
So there's a button that you can tell when it's engaged, and it might have been engaged one auction and I didn't know about it for sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure it probably happened. I mean, because I sit there and I always hit the bypass button, which is right there. But I'm probably sure that maybe once or twice I didn't hit the button or something. So who knows? But yeah.
Hey,
I'm usually pretty good about disengaging it.
I remember Patrick when he used to have
it would be helpful. That's all.
I remember when Patrick used to have Rob on to do a co-auction situation.
Yeah,
I have 3 cameras going on my auctions. I'm not going to put up a 4th.
We did it together. Hey, when I went to the Orange County show, this guy who I buy records from, he had 3 OG Blue Notes mono. He had a Cole Strutton.
What was the price?
Well, here's the deal. He didn't price that. He keeps a case with all the good stuff. But he'll show. He lets me. I go in early, like early entry into it, and he lets me look through his boxes before he puts stuff out. He had Cole Strutton, I think, and he had Leeway. Was it Leeway? And then he had Introducing Kenny Burrell. The two was I'll tell you what the other ones. Those were like sold for over $1,000.
Yeah.
How much did he want for that something else?
He didn't have prices, so he was being coy with me. He called a guy asking obviously he has someone in his ear, and the guy was saying like I could sell that Cole Strutton for $5,000, and I go, the cover's not in mint shape.
No way. $5,000's too much.
Yeah, the cover's not mint shape. The vinyls were in nice shape. But I said to him, I was being
vinyls.
The vinyls.
The vinyls.
The hell chasing all these rare psych records. They should go after Blue Notes.
Yeah.
Hey Mazzy, is it true you passed Michael 45 sub count?
Yes.
Awesome. Congratulations, man. That's been a long time.
Overnight, I hit 48,000.
Mazzy, how do you know
Congratulations. That's great.
Well, I didn't know until Rachel started every week doing this competition.
Okay.
And her and Sue would read it off on Sunday mornings. And on Sunday we were both at 47.9. And now I hit 48. So You know, who knows?
So both these records, if they're in great condition, are like over $1,000 records.
Those weren't in just like a cardboard box at the Orange County Records.
No, he keeps about the records that he puts like on a stand behind him.
Yeah, okay, at the wall.
I offered him for the Kenny Burrell. I offered him $250. That's probably an $800 record, but I was going by the median income, medium price. This the Sunny, this is a West 47th West.
Mm-hmm.
The other one's a Lexington.
Mazzy, my sources tell me that the last 1,000 subs you got were bought. How do you respond to that?
I never bought a sub in my life.
Well, you may say that, but my sources say
you know
that
it is.
It has been.
I got what they call charisma.
Well, Mazzy, Kimba told me that you both went out to Subway.
And knowledge. I know knowledge.
Hey, listen. Back in the day when in Ghost version season 1, there was a guy there that was really giving me a hard time, and I seriously thought about taking his channel down with buying
was it me
10,000 subs for him and just getting his channel. You can do it. 10,000 subs maybe cost you like $250. I say money well spent. You got like
Mazzy, if you hit 100K, you'll get a little placard from YouTube. Where would you? Where have you thought about? Have you thought about where you'd place it?
I'd put it in my sock drawer near my 10-year-old condoms.
Hey, Mike.
Where your porn.
I feel like we would see that every single day.
Mike, I talked to Mazzy about this.
I'm not that. I would not use it as a prop. That's not my thing.
Mike,
Mazzy, you know what you did.
I thought you'd get one at 50,000 too. Am I wrong about this?
I think it's 100,000. I haven't looked into it.
Here's the deal. Mazzy talked to me about this. He's a big fan of what's the guy who wears the clock around his neck?
What?
Oh, Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav. Mazzy's gonna wear it around his neck with a chain.
No.
Right.
I don't need. No. I don't.
That would be perfect.
Mazzy, you would love it. If you got that placard, you would not stop.
Of course, I would show it once on the thing, but I would never use it as a prop in the frame.
You would humble brag the hell out of it.
Yes.
Now, how long did it take you when you really started making videos? Because I know your channel's older than that, but how long did it take you to get to where you are now? How many years?
Pandemic.
Well, the pandemic really, the thing that turned the one video I will cite is when did Eric Clapton become such a wanker? That was the one that went crazy. I got good and bad response, and I went way over the top personality wise on that. It was just one of those,
even for you. So yeah,
I totally did.
Yeah, that video hasn't aged well.
It was my therapy, but it wasn't really. It wasn't so much about the vaccine thing. It was about that woman in Germany whose husband died. She sells a Clapton bootleg on eBay in Germany, and they go after her, and she has to pay $6,000 fine. And it's not like a counterfeit. It was a boot. Give me a fucking break. Now, she probably should have pulled it down. I will admit that. But it just made him look so tiny going after this woman selling her husband's collection,
Hey, Leland, Mazzy has a request. He's going to try. What will it cost to steal you away from Mike to do a live stream once a week?
Leland, everyone got the COVID booster, literally the booster, and not everyone, but the channel. We were all sitting around at that time, doing, that's all we could do. Most of us. Hey,
here's a picture of the something else, Patrick. It wasn't as in nice condition as the one I got from you. And he didn't have it priced.
The San Francisco psychedelic video is one of my biggest. I go back to San Francisco psychedelic, Grateful Dead, because those are big videos. People, and I like those. I can talk personally.
What's your most watched video, Mazzy?
I'm not. The top 10 record. See, as much as people like to complain about top 10, in my top 10, I think 8 of them are top 10 type or top videos like Miles Davis, those. But I did the top 10 best records of all time. Now, there's no way you can really do that. It's subjective, and it's my favorites in that moment. But that got the most. It's like 120, 150. I don't know what it is. But yeah.
Did any jazz titles make the list, Mazzy?
Yeah, I don't know if it's in the top 10, but In fact, I ran into this band I saw this punk band last night, and the guy was sitting at the table. It turns out this band was sitting at the next table, or two of them, and the guy goes, "Did you ever make a Miles Davis best of video?" I said, "Yeah." And the guy's from LA. He's Israeli. They live in LA. This punk band. They gave me the record. I showed it earlier on the show. They're called The Crotches. I went to see them last night. They're really fun. They're a little mix of Zappa and the Stooges, and all their songs are in English. 2 of them are in Hebrew. I think 3 of the guys originally from Israel, and they were fun. It was a great outdoor show last night at this venue called what was it called? Slim's Last Chance, kind of a dive bar with a venue outside. Cool. I haven't listened to the record yet because I'm getting a new cart today, hopefully.
Nice.
So, Alex, how much do 10K subscribers cost?
About
He said
$250.
$250. That's what he said. He
Yeah.
said it was money well spent too.
But subscribers
It can be
But subscribers aren't going to watch your videos.
Well, hold on. I mean,
until YouTube pulls you
No,
down.
They
no,
don't
but
think-
I think his motive would be to buy them, push them onto somebody else's channel, and then go on and say, "Look, you bought subs, blah
Yeah.
blah blah."
That was
it
my
would be.
plan.
It wouldn't be to grow a channel. It would be to take down a channel for.
Yeah.
How could you buy them
reliability.
for someone else?
Because if YouTube sees that you're buying subs, they'll take your channel down.
How can you
Yeah.
buy
You
them?
won't get. You will not get the placard.
How can I get to 300 subs?
Hey,
Well,
don't
stay
do
on
that.
camera. Stay on camera during a live stream, Jim.
Well,
and
no,
don't
I have
spend all
three-
your
I have-
time off camera.
I have 339 subs. Would like to lose
Delphina, can we
That's
39.
339 too many.
Delphine,
Rob, you got to
be
do a
happy
better
with
job
what
of
you
promoting
got,
Jim's
Jim. That's-
channel.
I
Be
want to
happy
invite
with what you
Delphina.
got, Jim.
he doesn't put up
I don't
content.
make videos.
We're getting
Delphina,
into
can we
the.
do a go to the mall video? Delphina, will you do a walking in the mall video with me in LA?
Yeah, but it has to be in the situation where she's your health caretaker.
We're
I
I
getting.
did a walking. I did a
We're
walking
getting
through
into
mall
the,
video with David Bianco.
I have
We're
the
getting
oldest
into the-
We go to
video.
Beverly
Final-
Center
community.
or
My-
Sherman
my-
Oaks, whatever.
My channel has
getting
the
into
oldest
the-
video of the vinyl community, though. My channel, Record Collector News, has a video that goes back to October 2009.
There's some earlier than that.
2009.
Yeah.
when we're getting in to spend 15 minutes talking about subscribers, we are in the VC masturbation phase of the show right now.
Oh, Elliot,
yeah.
Elliot,
Why
you're-
you gotta go
Elliot,
there?
we've been there for a while.
Elliot, you can't be saying that kind of
I
stuff.
didn't bring it up. I didn't
you're a
bring it
Southern
up.
Now-
gentleman.
Ask me
You're
a
a
question.
Southern
My video
gentleman.
from
You're wallowing
2009.
in it. You're wallowing in it. Good gosh,
video-
nobody gives a shit about
My
subscribers.
video from 09 has 91 views.
Good job, Jim.
Hey,
Thank
Jim is
you.
actually in my most watched video. It's when me, him, and Poetry on Plastic went to the record collector.
Oh yeah, that was
That has
fun.
over 11,000 views.
Really.
Hey, I got a question. Do you know, is Poetry on Plastic, like, I know he's in the military and he's in the band. Do they bring the band overseas, like when it's wartime?
Not his band.
Not his band.
No,
But they do bring
they're-
the band over to like what? To
Well,
play
you're talking
during-
about like when they have they're in a
The-
war and they
The
play that.
USO.
Hey Matt, would you shut up? I can't finish my stupid joke.
Oh,
When
sorry.
they
It is
bring
a
them
stupid
over
joke.
to play the music to terrorize the others.
No, I don't know if the band goes over. Like I know they bring cooks, they bring like
Yes, so
hospital
they
people and
bring the
stuff.
band over so they can play city pop and and make the other team surrender, the other side surrender. So that's
I
what
just
they
I
do.
hope he's not.
I think they
eating
play.
those.
I think they play the 16-inch V disc. Have you ever heard of V disc? I think that's
Yeah.
what they play over the
Yeah.
loudspeakers.
Wow.
No, he's with the Air Force Academy Orchestra.
If
So
they
there's
really
no
want to make
chance he's
people
going.
surrender, just play that copy of fucking
Hey,
200
Jim,
Hotel
ask
Uncle
that-
Meat that you were showing. So.
Ask the Vinyl Con guy. They haven't answered my email in about a week or more than a week about tickets to the show. Press tickets.
Jim, just get 8 tickets to the show.
Vin Kakanoff and Yam, what do you want from me?
You said you were going to ask the guy.
I got my shit taken care of, my friend.
Hey,
What, you want
speaking
to
of-
press?
Speaking
Well,
of Vinyl Con,
I wasn't going to ask you, but I wrote them where you send the press stuff and they haven't responded.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's probably because they have no idea who the fuck you are.
What I explained
sorry.
who I
I'm
am.
sorry.
I sent them a
Hey,
link.
hold on. Flexing about VinylCon is not making you look good.
Who, me?
No, but I think I can get a press pass to things, at some point.
Keep bugging him, man. Keep at it, Maz. You got to
Well,
be
what
persistent.
happened was Jim told him that the friend you want to bring didn't invite him to the barbecue. That's what happened. So the friend you want to get a pass to did not invite Jim or myself to his barbecue.
Yeah.
You're going to beat that horse to death. too, Patrick.
Everybody was invited.
No, Patrick and I are having a big ass queue. Everyone's invited.
Except
By
Mazzy and
everyone,
his
I mean
friend.
not Mazzy.
All right.
Scott, it's not that expensive to get a ticket to the show. It's like $15
I think so, yeah.
for each, or it might be a little more to go both days.
But the press pass lets you go in early.
Yeah, I wanted to go in.
No,
early.
it doesn't. It's the vendor's pass.
Oh.
Are you getting us vendor passes?
Yeah, we're already got vendor pass. Yes, we're
I've already done the whole.
If you're a
Jimmy Jam.
vendor, you shouldn't need a pass. You're a vendor. You're
But you have
set
to
up.
Well,
pass.
there's a pass for vendors because if you walk in, they want to know you're a vendor.
You
Hey,
get to use the special elevator on the side.
you know what?
You
I
get to
promise
come in
one
early.
thing. I promise one thing. The next live stream after the VinylCon, I will not come up here and go, I picked up 50 records from this guy, and I'm going to show them to you right now.
I'm gonna.
Raffelli.
Hey, have you guys ever heard of FingerCon?
Finger.
That's in Vegas, right?
No, it's a real thing. It's for fingerboarders. That's a big thing.
Oh,
with the kids now.
actually, I've seen it,
Yeah.
and it is the least entertaining of fetish sports genres.
They're expensive. One of those like boards and the metal, like they're legit. They're like $100 for like a big fingerboard set.
You weren't here the other day, Alex. I did acknowledge, because in the gallery, Michael Poetry suggested that I fly to Denver, and maybe he may drive to Chad Fest, and because it's like 5 hours, 6 hours, and I would possibly, if he can get the time off, I think he's off then, because I'm planning on a Denver trip at some point anyway to visit my friend the archivist and Todd, who just moved there.
Mhm.
So that is the only scenario where I would definitely end up going to the Vinyl Summit. If I went with Michael, we drove in that thing. I need to talk to him about that, see if that's a possibility.
You should
But
go
I'm
to
not
that. And you're going to regret not going to that if you don't go.
I don't regret it. I mean, I'd like to go. I want to meet a bunch of people there. That's
You're
what
going
I'd
to
like
meet
to
great
do.
people there. You're going to, that whole
Who are you
thing
gonna-
is set up
Who are
really
you going to
like,
meet there that you don't already know?
I'd like to meet some of the people from there's Universal and Rhino and the label people.
So,
I mean, I'd like to meet.
you want so basically you want to go to expand your
Well,
your
Matt
empire.
Luthen's reached out to me, asked me if I was coming, because he's from the area up here in Seattle, and I want to meet
you
Matt.
got a personal invite from Matt Luthens and you're not going, man? Are you kidding?
Yeah,
You
maybe.
think he just hands those out?
Hey, hold on.
No,
Alex
we're
said oot. Alex said oot.
Alex
And
Dickey, I
Chad
have a
doesn't need
question-
to invite me.
I have a question for Alex Dickey.
Yeah.
Do you think Mazzy is worthy of having Chad call him directly and asking him to come?
I think yeah, but the history there, you got to remember, like they're not on the best of terms.
I buried the hatchet with you.
I have no
Is
problem.
it like a story of just multiple clicks, and Mazzy, you feel like you're not part of the click?
No. Seriously, the honest answer is it's a fucking hassle to get there. If I leave here at 9 a.m, I get into Salina at midnight. And at this point, I hate changing planes and waiting 3 hours and getting into a place at midnight, getting to a hotel, checking in at 1 a.m.
Hold on. I believe that's a song by Billy Bob Thornton.
When you're in a band and you're younger,
get to Salina by midnight.
there's a romance to that in a way. I just have no interest,
You
And
do
it's-
make
it's-
good road. You do make good road videos.
It's, you're right. That's what I would do again. As snooty as it sounds, even when I travel, I really try not to go anywhere where I have to change planes.
I just picture it. If anyone saw the Twilight Zone movie from the 80s, that Mazzy and Michael driving like Dan Aykroyd and what's his face? Do you
We
want
can
to see
only
something
hope.
scary?
We can only hope.
I just think, in terms of coverage of the event, that having like Mazzy and some of the VC community there
Well,
would.
Melinda's going. She doesn't do location shoots really.
Hey,
But,
listen,
But I think that it would get so much more coverage if people
yeah,
from the
look,
VC
hey,
went.
Mike,
Yeah, but Matt's just
YouTubers
gonna go walk around looking for the novelty thing. Like he was at VinylCon looking at how they made like these fucking psychedelic fucking records.
Well, you're right.
That's what Mazzy does. So
and you're the guy that you and Rob and Piper, you're the guys that buy the collectibles. I'm not like that anymore, and there's room for all of it.
So Jim and Mazzy aren't buying records. That's not their thing.
Well, I buy new records more than that.
Jim takes me to record stores all around Los Angeles and hates the fact that he's record shopping. He can't stand it, So he has a record collecting magazine, but he hates record collecting.
Yeah, it's funny. It's hysterical.
It's what it is. I'm, if I find something super special, yeah, but
hold on.
The magazine is just business.
Jim.
Oh, I understand that, but I appreciate that Jim will do that.
Look, it's super easy for me. The amount of record stores I go to, I could spend $3,000 a month on fucking records. No problem. The problem is that Record Collector News does not afford me $3,000 a month. I should have stayed in whatever. But
hold on. If anyone has watched you and you buy records, it's me. You buy the shittiest records there is.
Yeah, you do. And then
I
you
have
try to
shitty
put them
taste. Okay.
Then you try to put them in other people's bags.
Then you do shootouts.
Sometimes these guys are going around. They're looking for shit to flip. That's why I'm not a flipper. Just not a flipper.
Yeah, you are. You flip equipment at incredible rates of speed.
I flip equipment, but I don't flip records.
So that makes you a flipper. That makes you a flipper.
I know. When we go to an audio store, when you and I, Patrick, every time we go to an audio store, you're trying to get out, and I want to stay there. But when we go to a record, I don't flip records.
Alex, what do you think about this, Alex? What do you think about people who just collect because they love the music versus flippers, like some people on the panel?
I have no problem with flippers.
Let's distinguish somebody that buys and sells from a flipper. Generally speaking, a flipper
can't put their phone on mute.
Generally speaking, a
that was Spinal Piper
is viewed as someone who unethically buys and sells records, unethically, deceptively, or so on and so forth. But what I think the people here on the panel that resell records, we're not buying records in that deceptive manner or in that highly speculative manner. We're looking and crate digging and finding records that we and pick them up at a good price where we can then resell them at a good price.
Got it. But the question was for Alex here.
I think it's great. Yeah, like whatever you got to do to put food on the table for you and your family, that's what you got to do. And if you got to flip some records, you do it. You flip burgers, you do it.
Let's be. Look, I don't feel offended by this, but let's be serious. Being a flipper means there's a record coming out that's in limited qualities. Everyone has access to try and buy it, sells out, and then you go put it up on the internet for a lot more money than trying to establish a price of how high it is. I find records to flip, if you want to call it that, but they're not. I am not getting crazy money.
And by flip, I mean sell. And I don't give a shit if you're making money or not. I don't buy records to sell. I just don't. I don't have room.
I do. I mean, if I'm looking
not
for
my thing. Go for it.
I have a copy. I have a copy.
No one's
of
accusing you of that, Jim, by the way.
And Patrick once explained to me that doing that, looking for records to sell, has reinvigorated his digging. And I get that.
I was burned out on looking for records because I had just about everything that I wanted.
But that's how I am.
So
that's how I am.
But I have no problem with selling records. Not my thing. I sell advertising to record stores.
Hold on. No one ever accused Jim of being a flipper, first of all, so I don't know why it's an issue. Secondly, this is Jim's deal. He combs through his collection, gets a stack to get rid of, and he brings them to the store and gets much less than he paid for them.
And then once there's room, I fill that up real fast with some other records that I just bought. and then I got to go through again and make more room because I am not going to be the guy that has boxes of records in the closet that he never listens to. Just
yeah, Jim stays in the closet without records.
I got other things in the closet, but
hey guys, I got to run. But before I go, Mike, I offered to give Jazzbums Chris jazzbums.com, and he told me to go fuck myself. Do you want it?
I'll defer to Chris on this one. Thank
You're
you.
trying to
I've
flip
got it
it
right
on-
here. If you give me your email,
Alex
I'll
is trying to
transfer it.
flip
I
you.
look forward to your email, Alex. So yes,
Alex is trying
Seriously,
to
Mike,
flip.
do you want it?
I'll take it.
Oh, Alex, do you want to buy Maslow?
Not particularly, but if
Mike is a polite guy, but Mike say
I feel like you guys should own it.
yeah,
then
if
give
you
it
if
to
you
him.
want to hand it over, that's
Okay,
great.
Transfer
Can you
it.
text
Go,
me, or can you put your email in the chat? I have to email it to you.
go
I'll
through
shoot you a
internet.
message on Instagram.
Okay, I'll send it. I'm going to transfer it over to you today. Okay.
you know,
Cool.
am
Thank
I
you.
nuts?
Take care, guys.
But when
See ya.
I was who's
I look forward
leaving?
to your email, Alex.
When
I'd
I was
rather
a
have it by the
kid
end of the
buying
day.
records, there used to be like a line out there that Blue Note Records, the guy never recorded the piano right. Have you guys ever heard that?
Yes.
you're an idiot.
You have?
because-
Okay.
You're an
Yeah.
idiot because
It's
It's
a
Wasn't
bit
that
of
just
a
wasn't that just
touchy,
the Andrew Hill album?
it's a
Wasn't that the
touchy
Andrew Hill
subject
album?
within like the Blue Note
Okay.
collector
Okay.
sphere.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was like, yeah, Blue Note.
Just triggered it.
hold on.
Well-
What year are we talking about in your age, Jim? Did you hear this?
20s.
Well,
20s.
I'm not an
I
expert on
consider
this,
that to be a kid.
but in terms of the engineer was Rudy Van Gelder.
Yeah.
His recording studio shifted from a Hackensack house to a proper studio. So when people say like he didn't record piano well, I don't think they're speaking specifically to just him in general. I think it's like an era, perhaps that.
Okay, so it was the Hackensack era.
because he started recording in like 52.
Is it because of the power? Was it because of the
Right.
power? Is it because of the power? Is that what caused
No,
the
I think it was
waving to
my-
make
I think it
go
was-
through?
I think it was mic placement. I think he put a mic,
Yeah.
like the mic directly in the piano. And I honestly am not the person to speak to this, but
Okay, so it is a thing.
it is something. Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay. But it's probably location. It's probably more of a Hackensack.
I only heard about it from the Andrew
Possibly,
Hill album
yeah.
came out. The Andrew Hill album, everybody complained about the piano.
Interesting. Okay. The
which
Andrew
is
Hill
why
would have
I
been-
never
would have been
fucking
Englewood
collected
Clips.
Blue Notes when they were cheap. I was
So may-
collecting
Can I,
Impulse.
Rob, heads
What?
Elliot,
what?
finish your sentence.
You cut out, Elliot.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
I'm
Jim-
going in and out.
What?
Jim,
There's a-
Impulse was also recorded by Rudy Van Gelder.
Not Impulse. What was oh
Jim's having a senior moment.
yeah, I am
Not everything at Impulse, but I think I think a
Verve.
good
I'm sorry,
majority.
Verve.
is.
I started collecting Verve.
Okay. Yeah. Verve
Verve
would not
like
be
crazy.
Rudy. Yeah.
Mulligan, all that kind
So,
of shit.
in the interest of full disclosure, I do have an EQ profile on my headphones. So, what I hear is EQ'd. So, if anybody wants to complain about that, feel free. But I do have an EQ profile that EQs my headphones.
I
Well,
think
that
Jim-
okay. You go
Yep.
fully digital, is what you're saying.
Jim also
Everything-
heard on the early Beatles
There's a
records.
digital step.
The piano's hard to hear in the early Beatles records.
The early ones. When
The
they
early
didn't
ones.
have- when they didn't have a piano in the mix.
But yeah, that's what I do. Feel like
Elliot, man.
there's so many variables that change over the years with Rudy
Are you
and
doing
other-
morning shots, Mazzy? Is that what you're
and these
doing?
other studios
I'm
that I feel like
still
it is
doing the-
like even
Rudy.
Rudy was like experimenting with like and I'm not the expert here, but like mic placement, like from recording to
Right.
recording. So
Right. Oh,
I think it's hard to paint a broad brush, but I think there are notable examples that people point
Hey,
to around the piano.
the
Hey,
thing I
Rick-
didn't know was
Rick?
that they paid for rehearsals.
It's not Getz
Yes,
Gilbert.
Bruno did.
I never knew that. I don't know why.
It's Gets
It may-
Gilberto.
Yeah, well, Alfred Lyon, from what I understand, was actually a huge fan of the music, which a lot of other jazz producers in the early 50s were not. They just wanted to,
They were
sell
businessmen.
records and make money. So I think that allowed him to help with the production at a different level than the other
I
producers
I
of the
think it made a
time.
difference.
I think it made a big
So
difference.
I have a question for Mike. Aren't you obligated to somehow have some sort of branding Jazz Bums on your name? Isn't that in your contract whenever you appear on screen that you have to somehow have Jazz Bums in the name? So,
You could subscribe to my Substack, Jazz Bums Mike.
Or did having a child trigger a byline that says you don't no longer are obligated? So
Well, the thing is, my StreamYard I only really use for the live, like the Friday Night Live, which it infers that it's a Jazz Bums person on there, so that's why it's just Mike.
No one wants to comment on my and Elliot's performances on Wyatt's show.
I will. I know less about you now after I watched it.
Elliot's was great. Yours not so much.
Go on.
I thought Jim did a really good job.
Oh,
thanks. So I think Saturday Wyatt's going to interview me. We'll see how that goes.
Nice.
Can I do I'm fading. I'm going in and out, spinning in and out. So can I real quickly let everybody know that there's a nice sale going on for New West Records at their website. It's
whose record? What records?
New West. They're doing Christmas in July, so it'll run to the end of July. New albums as much as 50% off. Like James McMurphy, I got this one. I got
that Billy Joe Shaver behind you. Ping pong. Got pong.
Apparently, you got to feed those squirrels. You got to feed them, and they run fast.
This one,
Billy Joe Shaver.
Billy Joe and Eddie. This is the last album they did together. Came out after he passed away. After Eddie passed away. Los Lobos doing LA art songwriters music.
God, I love those guys. That's a great record. That was a great record.
Buddy and Julie Miller, great producer. Buddy Miller, album, all her songs. She wrote all the songs on this album. Songwriter Lily Hyatt.
John electric guitar on any of these records?
Daughter.
Hyatt's daughter. Which one has Jug on it?
Emmylou Harris is this is the live album.
That's a good album.
For Spy Boy.
It's a live album. It's a good album.
Yes, it is. And Town Mountain, excellent bluegrass adjacent album, band out of Asheville, North Carolina. All those. Then that's just a quick look at some of them. But I got 11 records from that sale, shipping and everything. It totaled, it averaged out to just slightly over $17 a record. So when we complained that all these new records are $30, none of these are reissues. All these new records are $30, $40. There's $17 a record. I say none of them are reissues. I guess the Emmylou Harris Spy Boy, I guess you could view that as a reissue. I think it's first time out on vinyl. But there's lots of good music that we don't have to spend a ton of money on. Thank you, Rob.
Hold on. I don't know if this is a joke by Fred, but reach out to Elliot. How can people reach out to you, Elliot? On your Instagram? Lazy
Sure. Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. Patrick, what's like your budget range per record? Like, do you have a cap where it's like really regardless of the title, with maybe some exceptions, you're not going to go above 200 or something like that? Is there something that you have like a limit?
I mean, so I'm in a unique position. So I can buy a record. I do this a lot. I buy a record and I record a record and then I'll sell the record. So if I know I'll buy a $300 record, if I can get like $250 back from a $300 record, for me that's a win. I get the music and I'm good.
But if you're buying a $300 record, it's generally probably worth more than $300.
Well, I mean, it all knowledge is everything in this endeavor. Knowledge is everything, and also knowing the people that buy records from you. You need to know what they're looking for and what they expect. So I mean, some stuff I hit or miss, like metal stuff doesn't really sell on even on my auctions. So I don't have the right kind of people to buy to get the full value for metal albums. But classic rock band, yeah, I mean, I can, yeah. If you know what to look for, like for instance, like the Crosby, Stills and Nash Couch album, the -F. That's a $10 record. You could get 50 for it because you know that the people want it. So if you,
so you're basically doing a version of the Tom Port hot stamper bullshit.
Well, here's what I can tell you, but
I tell people up front what it is.
Yeah, but honestly, here's what Patrick does. So the Couch album, the Crosby, Stills and Nash, he feels like he discovered one of the best sounding versions you can get of it. He found a copy for me last time he was in town. I found 2 more. And by my ears, I can say that is a great sounding version. So I go looking for it. But here's I think it's something that people don't talk about a lot. And that's these records that when they came out in the late 60s, early 70s, didn't sell. So record companies destroyed them. And then someone found 5 copies of it, talked it up so much that now it's a $5,000 record. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's the case for a lot of these.
Yeah, there's some isn't there some prog rock on Columbia that didn't sell? I think I've seen Bip Bop Boom talk about.
You know who? Because I was told this. Someone could tell me I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Capitol didn't really send records back out with cut corners or hole punches. They just destroyed them. So a lot of these kind of psych records from Capitol, there's not a lot available.
Columbia was the same way too.
I didn't think the Z3 would go for that much. I thought the Z3 would go in the 250, 300 range because it was that good. I mean, it's that clean of a copy, and it's
what copy was
to
it?
Find. It's the UK plum of Led Zeppelin 3. It was it literally played beautifully. I mean, it was.
And what did it end up going
stunning.
for, Patrick?
$500.
And
wow.
will you disclose
I paid,
what you paid for?
and I paid $150 for it at VinylCon in LA. I bought it off these guys from Wales. I bought probably 10 records from these guys from Wales. For them, that was like a local thing, So, but to me, it's like I'm hardly ever going to see those records, especially 10 in one spot from the UK like that. Pressings like London Calling, a UK press. I got a Humble Pie's 3rd album with the white cover, the texture cover, UK press. Aqualung UK press, Mono. This was UK press. They had them all for fair prices. They were fair prices, and I said, "Hey, I'm your Huckleberry dude. I'll buy those things all day long."
Yeah. Vinyl Piper drove up the coast and stopped at every record store he could, and there's this private press jazz record that Now Again reissued. In fact, Now Again got their hands on. There was more music from the recording, and they put out a 2-record set. But the original he found for $2,000. And that's what it sells for. It's a private press jazz record. Is the music the best thing you ever heard? No. The recording the best thing you ever heard? No. So
right, my hobby pays for itself. I mean, if I can go out, I'm not looking to make money to have. My hobby pays for itself. It keeps my wife off my back. So it's like, so I don't have to touch
it's
the
worth every
budget.
penny then.
I can tell you, I've said this since I started doing the auction stuff. It pays for the hobby. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a millionaire from doing auctions.
No.
It allows me to go out.
I don't budget anything for my record hobby. It's not in a
Patrick,
budget.
I'm surprised you said that your heavy metal doesn't sell at your auctions.
I mean, it's better, but some people, the heavy metal guy, the hardcore ones, they'll spend money like the jazz guys. I just don't attract those kind of people to my auctions. So.
At record shows, the more heavy metal I can get, I can sell it
goes like that
all day long at a record show, but I don't have much of it.
Rich, my wife was on the stream. I was with freaking Beatle, the guy from Kentucky, Bob Bradley. So she was in that briefly. So.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah, we're ending. We're ending now. Yeah. Anyone need to leave? Any words?
Nice to see you, Mike.
Yep, good seeing everybody.
Take care.
Yeah.
Congrats again. Have fun not sleeping.
Yeah. If we all leave now, we'll have time to catch Gunsmoke.
All right, that was the worst ending thing I've ever heard. Thank you, Elliot. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Glad I could help.